Welcome to my YouTube channel. We knows, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for more. Say in the instance you finally got the courage to tell your crush that you like them, but suddenly in love, he or she rejects you. What would you do? Sure, you'll be upset, you're going to be sad, you might even cry, but eventually you get over it. What if you really don't get over it? Would you kill somebody because they rejected you? This is a case that put a whole nation to a standstill about a girl who was hacked to death because of rejecting a man. Wangeshi was the firstborn of 3 siblings. She had a brother and a sister, and was born to Wainaina and Winfred Kingori. The family lived in Thika Makongeni and pretty much lived a normal life. Growing up, Ivy was very close to all the members of her family, especially her mom, who they shared a close bond and usually referred her as Ivyline, the medicine woman. Ivy was pretty much a smart cookie in school, and in her KCSE examination, she scored all A's. She was the pride of the family, who greatly inspired her to study medicine, as many of her uncles were doctors. Ivy was kind, obedient, and never wanted to see anyone suffer, part of which prompted her to do medicine. Everyone could predict that she could be successful. No one could ever tell that all that could be shut down when she was in her final lap of medicine school. Ivy met Naphtali in primary school and soon became friends, even though he was classes ahead of her. Ivy was now a beautiful and smart girl, and soon Naphtali developed a crush on her and constantly tried to woo her, on which she turned him down in all his tries. After successfully passing her KCSE, Ivy schooled at Moi Referral Training Hospital, where she continued to do well up until the 6th year. On Tuesday, 10th of April 2019, to Ivy the day seemed normal and she was just headed out of a practical from Moi Referral Training Hospital in the accompaniment of a friend when Naphtali out of nowhere attacked her with an axe, hacking her to death. After doing the gruesome act, Naphtali tried to run away, but soon border guys who had witnessed the whole ordeal caught up with him and beat him up, which ironically he will be treated for his wound in the hospital Ivy had walked out just a few minutes earlier. Soon, Ivy's family was informed of the whole ordeal, and Ivy's father, a man who loved his daughter, received a horrifying call that will forever change his life. Ivy was no more, killed by a man who he could hardly remember. Soon, Naphtali's trial will start, and weirdly, he pleaded not guilty. It seems so funny because there are almost tens of witnesses who saw you killing the poor young woman and you are pleading not guilty. Okay, I don't know, maybe there is a play here or it's part of his defense, but it's kind of during questioning with the DCI, Naphtali said the reason that prompted him into such evil, he claimed that days before Ivy had called him for money to organize her birthday, in which, since he was so-called madly in love, he sent the money. But ever since, Ivy completely ghosted him. He claimed that a week before the incident, he had traveled from Thika to Eldoret to meet with Ivy, though the meeting was brief because Ivy had told him she was going to change out of her working clothes and they could meet soon after. But after that, she never showed up and actually switched off her phone. This, he claimed, is what that attributed to him traveling to Eldoret, buying and sharpening an axe and killing a young woman in broad daylight. I know there are anger issues, but you just can't go travel from Vika to Eldoret, which is kilometers and kilometers away, buy an axe of all the things he could have used, an axe, sharpened it. I I really wonder what he was thinking while he was sharpening this axe. Like, I am going to use this axe to kill. Okay. Oh my god. This whole ordeal shocked both the family and friends of Naphtali and Ivy, especially the colleagues Naphtali was with the whole day. They generally knew him as a quiet and calm guy, but for a guy who's going to kill somebody with an axe, he was quite calm and stress-free. Now, his heartbroken mother, now hearing the news, was quite shocked because she never expected it from this young man, since she had only once heard of Ivy from Naphtali when he was pouring out his frustrations to his mother about Ivy. And of course, as a mother, she advised her son not to have any other more relation to Ivy. Of course, he obviously did not, since Ivy's friends were not having any of that. Nope, they disputed all of Naphtali's claims, and they came with receipts as they were the witnesses during the trial. Ivy's friends informed the court that Ivy had once complained to them of Naphtali constantly threatening and stalking her through sharing with screenshots where he said, and I quote, "I am going to do something stupid and none of my coin will be wasted." Once at a party, Naphtali was trying to force Ivy to go back with him to his house, in which Ivy, like all the other times, she refused him. For a normal person, obviously by now you'll have gotten the drift that this chick does not like me. I should just pick myself up, go back. Maybe one day I'll find somebody else. But clearly this was not love, this was obsession. Ivy was buried in her rural home in a funeral attended by over 300 people, including
It has been close to
3
years
and politicians,
because
who
the whole
rebuilt the
ordeal
whole
just
ordeal.
happened
In 2019, now we are 2022, yeah. And her death, and unfortunately, she has not yet gotten justice. All that can be attributed to Naphtali's lawyers. Can you imagine? They were traveling, Ivy's families, they have been traveling from Thika to Eldoret because that's where the case is. And apparently, when let's say a crime is done at a particular place, let's say for this case homicide, the court case is usually at the location where the whole ordeal took place, in this circumstance, Eldoret. And mind you, they live all the way from Vika, so each and every time they're traveling from Vika to come to Eldoret so that they can sit through a trial. But do you know that so Naphtali's defense lawyers, they were not, it's the audacity, they used to fail to come and appear to court each and every time. The family was wasting up until 100,000 every single time they're traveling, and his lawyers are not showing up. So the family lawyer put out a statement claiming that this was clearly a ploy to frustrate the family. But thank God, thank goodness, there's a judge who said no more, no more of this. We are going to set a date. We are going to continue with this until Ivy gets the justice that she deserves. And it's so far so good. The case is still in trial, but you can only hope that justice shall be served. Ivy joins the ever-growing list of victims of femicide in the country, and we can only hope that much can be done to stop femicide, and Ivy will get the justice that she truly deserves. Okay, before I go, can you guys believe that there is a song out there making fun of the whole situation? I won't even say the title of the song since it was kind of popular at that time. So, no matter the circumstances, guys, this was someone's friend, this was somebody's daughter, this was somebody's sister, this was somebody's niece, this was somebody's role model. And even to some of us, even some of you guys who are singing along to the song, soon to be doctors. Actions have consequences, and as Will Smith said, violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive.